Atlanta, a sprawling city, a mass of trees and greenery, interspersed with gleaming skyscrapers and a thriving metropolis, best known for its southern hospitality and deep roots in American history. A city full of enthusiasm and pride in the state of Georgia. Duluth, the Atlanta Athletic Club, once the home club of legendary golfer Bobby Jones, whose Highlands Course has hosted 2 previous majors. This year, it is the site of the 83rd PGA Championship, making its mark in history once again. The Professional Golfers Association of America presents the season's final major, Glory's Last Shot. The PGA Championship. From the Atlanta Athletic Club in Duluth, Georgia, Major Toms.
How you doing? Morning, folks. Welcome to the 83rd Annual PGA Championship.
Welcome to the PGA Championship.
Larry Nelson won the last PGA Championship played here and is back as a special invitee. His 80-year-old parents are in his gallery and his son's caddying for him. He birdied the 6th hole to start fast at 2 under par. It's become traditional at the PGA to pair the winners of the year's first 3 majors. Woods, Goosen, and Duval drew a massive crowd. With players starting on both nines, the speed-up play, Tiger went off the 10th tee and didn't like the result. Woods was +1 after 1. Duval missed the 2000 PGA, recovering from a back injury. Relaxed by winning his first major this summer, he ran down his 2nd straight birdie at the 11th hole. Woods is odds-on to overpower any par 5 and birdied the 12th to get back to even. Goosen, who won the Scottish Open after capturing the United States Open, also birdied the 547-yard 12th. That improved the steady South African to 1 under par after 3 holes. Duval seeking to make it a trifecta for the feature pairing on 12. Yes, birdie for all 3. And his 3rd in a row. Tiger was fighting his putter in the early going and missed this par putt at 14. It got worse for the world's top player on the par 3 15th. He went in the water, double bogeyed, and was 3 over through 6. 10-year tour pro Dudley Hart was driving the ball well and taking advantage of greens softened by pre-tournament rain. Here for birdie at the 9th hole. 4 under 31 on his first side. Colorado native Jonathan Kay, another tour journeyman, birdied the par 4 16th and also dipped to 4 under par. Kay says he's never had a teacher, which certainly makes him unique on the PGA Tour. Fred Funk is known as the straightest driver in the game. He led the driving accuracy statistic 4 of the past 6 seasons, but he can putt straight too. This birdie attempt at the par 3 7th that sent Funk to 4 under par and tied for the lead.
I think anytime you have soft conditions like this, that's when you have the scoring mode going. And I love to get in position on Sunday and at least have fun with it and see what would happen.
Ernie Els hasn't won this year, but the Big Easy is always a big threat in the big events. At 15, he rings up birdie to serve notice on the field at 5 under par. Duval trying to scramble for par at the 9th hole, his final hole of the round. His pitch and run almost in for birdie. Double D, as Atlanta fans call him fondly, finished at 4 under par 66, making his par there at the 9th and was the leading light of the super pairing. As for Woods, Duval surmised that his friend might be emotionally drained after winning the Masters for his 4th straight major. A solemn Woods would have to play better to make the cut, missing here on his final hole for par, a 3-putt bogey that brought him home with 73 plus 3.
If I play a good round tomorrow, I should be able to get myself right back in the tournament. And that's the good thing about major championships. You go out there and you play well, you're going to get rewarded by moving up the leaderboard. I just need to go ahead and play well.
In the unforgettable 2000 PGA Championship at Valhalla, Woods birdied the last 2 holes in regulation to force a 3-hole playoff with upset-minded Bob May. Woods, then on the first hole of that playoff, quickly took the lead with a hard-breaking birdie putt. We'll be seeing replays of this joyous sequence for many years. At 24, Woods became the only man to repeat as PGA champion at stroke play. A crowd was forming at 66 Thursday. Australia's Stuart Appleby, Sweden's Nicholas Fast, and Rhode Island's Brad Faxon all landing on that number. David Toms, a 34-year-old tour winner from Louisiana, joined them in the lead at 4 under, and a highlight of his round was this marathon putt for birdie across the entire width of the green on the par 3/4. Toms had missed the cut in his first 3 PGA championships, then finished in a tie for 41st last year at Louisville. And always adventurous Phil Mickelson was 1 under on the 5th tee and followed a mammoth drive with a towering 3-iron shot to the par 5 green. It set up a 5-foot attempt for eagle. The Husky left-hander sank it to go to 3 under, that elusive first major title looking more and more attainable. Sergio Garcia knew from seeing leaderboards full of red numbers that good scores were out there for the taking. The precocious Spaniard made this long birdie putt at 17, his 8th hole of the round, and would finish at 2 under, just 2 shots off the early lead. When Mickelson stuffed this birdie putt on 13, he took the lead at 5 under par and thanked us very much. KJ Choi, the first Korean to earn a PGA Tour card, parred 18. And the former junior weightlifting champion would be only 2 strokes off the lead at the end of the day and happily concede through an interpreter he didn't think he could handle it if he won. New Zealand's Grant Waite had never made the cut in 4 previous PGA championships, but his 2-putt birdie on the 12th hole launched him into a tie with Mickelson at 5 under and a share of the lead. Doesn't look like he'll miss the cut this time. Meanwhile, at the 18th, Mickelson had to lay up after driving in the rough, and he had this par putt for 65. Still, 4 under par, 66, a heartening start. The leading scores lower than expected. 2-shot lead for Wade after round 1. Al Sutton won the PGA Championship at Riviera in 1983. Nick Faldo's game has been reviving. Larry Nelson, the oldest man in the field at 53, shot 68. And Tiger's off to a tame start in 100th place. The southern foliage is glowing in the bright, summery weather, and so too is 2-time major champion Mark O'Meara. Better known lately as Tiger Woods' fishing buddy, he was burning up the course after an opening 72. This was his long birdie putt on the 15th to go 6 under par for the day. O'Meara birdied 17 and then made this par putt on the 18th to tie the major championship record of 63.
There's still so much golf to be played. It's just nice to be back somewhat in contention. You know, certainly this afternoon there might be some good scores, and whether I'm 3 or 4 or 5 shots back, I still got a lot of work to do.
Jim Furyk, who secured his Ryder Cup spot in Atlanta, was paired with O'Meara and would fall just a shot short of O'Meara's 63. Furyk's cross-handed putt on 18, one of the many 15-footers for birdie he produced, was on the mark, and like O'Meara, he was in the thick of the hunt. Mickelson attracted large supported galleries all week. Playing the back nine first on Friday, he made 2 birdies by the time he reached the turn and faced this birdie at the second. 6 under, moving toward the top of the leaderboard. Mickelson's been practicing hard to improve the trajectory and spin control of his iron shots, and it showed in this stylish 7-iron on the 183-yard 7th hole. He converted the short birdie putt to surge into the lead at 8 under. Finally, Mickelson addressed this putt for a birdie and a round of 65. But no, the cup rejected it, and he turned in his second straight 66. First round leader Grant Waite suffered from a persistent case of the shorts with his putter Friday, including this birdie bid at 15 that failed to reach the hole. Waite shot 74 and was 2 under par at the halfway point. Dudley Hart picked up the momentum Waite lost. A birdie putt on 11, his second hole of the day. That got him going, and it got the crowd behind the green going as well. David Toms was lurking dangerously. On 7, he hit a 6-iron to 20 feet and connected on the birdie putt. -6. Toms birdied 8, then drove into a fairway bunker on the 9th. He selected an 8-iron from the sand, his shot of the day. It came to rest only 12 feet short of the hole, and he made the putt to move within a stroke of the lead, and permitted himself a restrained fist pump. Don't forget the British Open champion Duval birdied the 7th to reach 5 under. Bob Estes is a quiet Texan from Abilene who lets his game do the talking, and it spoke loudly and clearly Friday as he birdied the 9th to go to 6 under. Toms went for the green in 2 on the par 5 12th. The shot came up short but dry, barely, between the water and the putting surface. He chipped and putted for his birdie and was 9 under par and tied for the lead with Katayama, whose day was done. Steve Lowry shot 4 rounds in the 60s in the 95 PGA at Riviera. He had this birdie putt on 11 to pull within 1 of Tom's Katayama. Hart birdied the par 5 5th. Now 7 under par. Duval was frustrated with his putting, but maybe he just needed to be farther from the hole. He couldn't complain about this long-distance birdie putt on 14, and Duval was -6. Toms bogeyed 15, but his 8-iron to 16 was a be-right beauty. The routine-looking birdie bumped him back to 9 under and the co-lead with Katayama. 2 over par on the 15th tee, Tiger heard that the cut could be even par. He needed birdies, and he soon got one when his 40-footer from off the green slammed into the back of the hole and fell in, 1 over with 3 to play. Not to be outdone, Duval knocked down his second long birdie putt in a row. The deadpan 4-time All-America from Georgia Tech was closing in on the lead at 7 under. Toms played 17 and 18 solidly and left his penultimate putt for the outright lead dangling on the lip. He was in at 9 under with a firm hold on his focus. Duval had 3 putted 17, but then hammered home an impressive long iron to the 18th. His birdie putt was on line, but short. All too typical of his round, he said. But he was 6 under through 36 holes and well positioned for the weekend.
It's hard to speculate what score is going to be needed to win. You know, as long as it's mine, I'm fine.
Woods birdied 16 and had this par putt at 18 to finish at even par. And yes, he made the cut. Now 20 for 20 making cuts in majors as a professional. Katayama and Toms tied the 36-hole scoring record of 131. O'Meara's 63 jumped him from a tie for 87th to a tie for 11th. Chris DeMarco fighting for a Ryder Cup spot at 5 under, only 4 off the lead. Love, Sutton, and Price, all past champions of the PGA. The bucolic setting of the Atlanta Athletic Club produced one of the wildest Saturdays in major championship history. Nick Faldo, in the second group off, ignited the fireworks on the 204-yard fourth hole. His 4-iron shot felt perfect, leaving the club face toward the difficult back left hole location, and no wonder. Golf doesn't get any more perfect than a hole-in-one. Even the insect population was hanging on Tiger's every move. He came to the 9th even par, right where he'd started the day. But his sand wedge to the green, one hopped in for an eagle. 2 under, and maybe he'd found the spark he needed. Tiger's happy smile soon faded. His second shot on 18 got away from him and led to a second straight bogey. He was 1 under for the day and for 54 holes, out of contention and frustrated by his inconsistency. There's Mickelson warming up for his round in the parking lot right-handed. It worked for an opening birdie when he slung his L wedge close and made the little putt. He tied the lead at 9 under. Trouble on the par 4 third, however. Mickelson drove in the left rough, then fired at the flag and hit a tree. He said he was blocked from chipping out safely. His third shot was a bladed wedge over the green into the gallery. He ended up swallowing a double bogey and was back at -7. Meanwhile, Duval missed a 2-foot putt for par on the 6th, but bounced back on 7 with this dazzling birdie. He was 7 under and playing splendidly from tee to green. Davis Love was making up ground on the leaders. He ripped a 4-iron to the 15th green. Then curled in the birdie putt. Suddenly, Love was at 7 under. The rabid crowd following Mickelson was rewarded when he birdied the 4th hole to go 8 under. He had mentioned all week that his game plan was to distance himself from the field on Saturday. An emotive Katayama liked it when fans shouted, "Go Shingo!" But Shingo misfired on the par 3/4. It led to bogey, and he no longer shared the lead. Still, he was 8 under and living his dream of playing in the U.S. Duval at the 8th birdied again. Now 8 under and gathering momentum. Mickelson matched Duval's back-to-back birdies with this putt on the par 5 5th after chipping 6 feet past. 9 under for the second-ranked player in the world. His less flamboyant playing partner Bob Estes was keeping up with the brisk pace. He made his own birdie on 5 to go to 9 under. Here's how the leaders stood. A three-way tie at the top. Mickelson, Estes, Toms. Gritty Paul Azinger was hoping to be a captain's pick for the Ryder Cup team, and he helped his cause with a birdie on the 11th to go to 8 under par for the championship. Toms drove it in the rough again on number 6 and again wedged his way to a birdie. Knocking down this long one to move to 11 under. Steve Lowry solved the snug hole location on the par 4 10th. And birdied to move to -8. Toms missed the green on 7. And a mediocre chip would cost him a bogey, dropping him back to 10 under. Duval wasn't happy with his putting, but he birdied the 11th to go to 9 under. The 8th at Atlanta Athletic Club is a long dogleg left with lots of water, which Estes found with his new hook swing. After he took a drop, his third shot couldn't prevent a double bogey. And he fell back to 6 under. Katayama was still smiling, however. And why not when you can putt like this? The birdie on 8 brought him back to 9 under and broadened his fetching smile. Mickelson hit driver, sand wedge on 9. And would make the short birdie putt to share the lead with Toms at 10 under, showing why he leads the tour in birdies. Back to Katayama for birdie at 10. And now a threesome at the top. Chief Birdie Meister Mickelson stiffed this approach on 11 to seize the lead alone at 11 under. Much to the delight of the crowd. Duval wasn't going away, though. His birdie at 14 kept him close to Mickelson. Over to Mickelson. He birdied 11 to go 11 under. He birdied 12 to go 12 under. His second shot hit a tree, but this nifty pitch and putt pulled him through. Lefty was now on a torrid roll. The course was firming up, and so too was the leaderboard. Katayama for eagle at 12 and a share of the lead. Sometimes there's no justice, and he settles for the birdie. The sparks continued to fly from all directions. Toms for birdie at the 13th. 11 under. Not to be left out, Steve Lowry from the fringe at 16 for birdie. Nine under. Mickelson's 8-iron approach on 14 did everything but go in. Remember, just 3 holes earlier at the 11th, he'd knocked it stiff with that same club. And he did it again, setting up a simple birdie, moving him to -13. Lowry playing with Duval, 3 groups ahead, cashed this long birdie putt in at the 17th to move to 10 under. Mickelson's scorching run finally ended at the par 3 15th, where he hit a 4-iron over the green and hit this tricky chip poorly. Caused a bogey, dropping him back to -12. The par 3 15th, 243 yards over water, was playing as the hardest on the scorecard this bizarre Saturday, but Toms felt he had an ideal yardage for his 5-wood. A stunning moment, the shot of the year in golf, the longest ace in major championship history. The reticent Toms celebrated as much as anybody else who saw it. And more importantly, the masterful stroke gave him the lead on a 3-shot swing with Mickelson and would prove critical to the outcome of the championship. At the 18th, Duval was over the green in 2 and then amazingly stubbed his chip. It led to a bogey and a 9 under par total through 54 holes. What next on this wacky day? In case you thought you'd seen it all on this remarkable 3rd round, check out Katayama's second shot on the home hole. Back on land. Toms was not distracted in the least. He faced a jumbo birdie putt at the final hole. Could he keep the crowd's excitement levels soaring off the charts? Yes! Rounds of 66, 65, 65 for Toms, the leader by 2. Katayama capitalized on his good fortune, trying to save par. Indeed, he was 10 under through 3 rounds. What a show by this unlikely final pairing. Tom's 54-hole total establishes a PGA Championship record. This group needs the leaders to falter in the final round. Verplank is pursuing a Ryder Cup captain's pick. Charles Howell III, from Georgia, from Augusta, a young star of the future. And club professional Schuler birdied on the big stage at 18, even par through 3 rounds. Sunday was all about winning the famed Wanamaker Trophy. David Duval needed a fast start, but didn't get it. His second shot on the 2nd found sand and led to a bogey. He dropped to 8 under. A trying day was straight ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Shreveport, Louisiana, Mr. David Tom. From Scottsdale, Arizona, please welcome Mr. Phil Mickelson.
Toms drove through the fairway on the first hole. Mickelson, more powerful, also found the rough at 1. Head-to-head, the leaders both would open with pars. Mickelson drove into the rough again on 2, but again it didn't bother him that much. 9-iron to 20 feet. The silky smooth stroke for birdie. The draw within 1 of Tom's, and the game is on. But not for Duval. He was bunkered again at the 3rd hole and continued to struggle with his putter. The shocking bogey ended his chances at back-to-back major titles. Katayama was avoiding outlandish shots so far Sunday and hit it close right here on the third for a birdie. Lowry, trailing Toms by 4, went for the green on the par 5 fifth. It would give him a crack at an eagle putt. A nice lag. The birdie would move him to 11 under. Mickelson underscored his reputation as a bunker magician on 5. And made the birdie putt for a Sandy that tied the lead at 14 under. Toms, meanwhile, was piling up pars, as is his steady style. His second shot on 6, well done, but again it will lead to par, keeping him at 14 under. He's a conservative technician, in vivid contrast to Mickelson, a flamboyant gambler. Here's Scott Verplank, striking a blow for his Ryder Cup prospects with a long birdie putt on 14. U.S. captain Curtis Strange likes the plucky Verplank's attitude and game. Just call it his good luck tongue roll. Katayama brought up a terrific approach shot on 8. This would lead to birdie. Katayama, minus 12. Mark Calcavecchia is known for shooting lights out when his iron game and putter heat up. Would a well-built birdie on 11, the 454-yard par 4, lead to one of his blazing rounds? How about that? 8 under par for Calcavecchia. Now back to the leaders. Toms very nearly holed his approach on the 9th. Mickelson drove in the rough on 9 and could only chunk out short of the green. He couldn't salvage par with a long putt and dropped the stroke. Toms, meanwhile, touched up his birdie, completing a 2-stroke swing at the 9th. Toms to 15 under, Mickelson 13 at the turn. Calcavecchia continued to sizzle. This putt for eagle at the 12th. And it pumped him even higher to 10 under. At the 13th, he scared the hole with his second shot. And birdie to go to minus 11. Scott Hoke was out of the running, but not out of mind on 17. He'd hit a good 4-iron to the par 3 fourth, similar distance and hole location. So he tried the same shot here, but it worked even better. By his count, Hoke's made 26 aces, but even the most jaded pros get excited about a hole-in-one. With the lead group making the turn, Tom's led by 2. Katayama was 3 off the lead. Tom's, the best putter of the week, showed the strain of the back nine in a major on the 10th green. From long range, just begging to get down in 2. And a good first putt to 30 inches. He would admit later that he was shaking so badly over this effort, he was having trouble breathing over the putt. The unpredictable Katayama, who carries 5 woods in his bag, was up to more of his tricks on the 12th, going for the par 5 and 2. And once again, stretched his luck. Next, he all but made his eagle chip. And the crowd loved every zany moment of it all. All his theatrics added up to a birdie, and the fun-loving Katayama was quite a serious threat at 13 under par. Calcavecchia's flaming streak finally burned down at the 16th. Bogeying to drop to 10 under. The flamboyant, ever dangerous Mickelson showed great touch on an eagle try at 12. The easy birdie brought him even with Tom's again. The second time on the day that Mickelson had made up the 2-stroke deficit. Katayama misclubbed at 13 and would fall back to 12 under with a bogey. The smile was temporarily missing. Tom's regained his composure and stroked the birdie putt on 13 for the lead back. He got it with the soft feel. The action was building toward another edge-of-your-seat PGA climax with the daunting final stretch ahead. Calcavecchia with birdie at 18. Not this time. He finished with 65, 270 total, his last 2 rounds the lowest in the field. Tom's looked to lag his swift putt on 14 for a second birdie in a row. He gave it just the right speed and the right line. He would call it the pivotal putt in his round. He moved to 16 under and had restored his original 2-shot lead. But not for long on 15. His hole-in-one hole from the previous day, Tom's pulled his tee ball, had to play the long greenside bunker shot that came up drastically short. Knowing an opening when he saw one, Mickelson responded with one of his patented killer chips. To 15 under, and the first major back within reach. A 2-shot swing on the way if Tom's missed the par putt at 15. And the 2 former college rivals were in a dead heat once more. Tom's caught for the 3rd time in this final round. But Mickelson, unable to forget advice from fans about the slowness of his first putt at 16, 3-putted from 45 feet and trailed by 1. 18 played as the hardest hole all Sunday, and Katayama couldn't repeat his good fortune of Saturday. His 5-iron approach this time failed to clear the water. But he didn't lose his sense of humor. His bogey putt left everybody smiling. Despite a bogey finish, the Cat in the Hat tied Calcavecchia for 4th and led the field in new friends made. Lowry would register his best finish in a major. The Alabama native got up and down on 18 for a 68, a 268 total, 12 under par, and good for 3rd alone. He played the final round without a bogey. With every shot crucial now, Mickelson put extra study into his long birdie putt at 17. Close, but Mickelson and Toms would match pars at the 71st hole, meaning Toms led by 1 with the monstrous 18th remaining. There at the home hole, Toms drove in the right rough and debated hitting a 5-wood to the green, but decided against it from a side hill uphill lie. He's known to his peers as a lethal wedge player, and Mickelson had been hoping to himself Toms would go for the green. Instead, Toms laid up with a pitching wedge right to his desired yardage of 88 yards to the hole. Mickelson with a 6-iron approach from the middle of the fairway. Beautifully struck, safely aboard, 25 feet beyond the hole. He was very much alive and fighting for his first major. But so was Toms. Once he made up his mind to lay up, he played nothing but decisive shots. He put a firm swing on his 3rd. Another in a succession of clutch shots at the right times. He had said all week he wouldn't be afraid to lay up on 18 if he didn't have a good shot. And he reminded us that intelligence and courage can come in many forms. Proud favorite Mickelson, with 5 top 10s in the majors the past 2 years, faced an uphill path to victory, but it wasn't impossible. He had the 25-foot putt for birdie and no worse than a tie. On line all the way, but inches shy. Now his fate would be determined by Toms, who had a 10-foot par putt to win the championship. He lined up the putt, visualized it clearly, and stroked it purely, leaving no doubt. David Wayne Toms with a par for the ages on the brutally difficult final hole to win the 83rd PGA Championship, his 6th professional victory, by far his most important and most impressive, and playing his way onto the Ryder Cup team, a 265 total, the lowest ever in a major championship. And wife Sonia on hand to celebrate every second of it. For Mickelson, he would once again have to wait.
Everybody here is talking about trying to break through and win one major. I'm trying to win a bunch of majors, and what's frustrating is that I can't even get by the first one.
A daughter's hug eases a lot of pain. One day you have to think baby Amanda will be in his arms to celebrate a major. But not this time.
On behalf of the more than 26,000 men and women golf professionals in the PGA of America, congratulations on an outstanding performance here at the Atlanta Athletic Club, and it gives me great pleasure to present you with the coveted Wanamaker Trophy.
win a major or to win any tournament, you always want to beat the best players playing their best golf. You know, you don't want to have somebody hand it to you. And Phil and I competed hard down the stretch. He played some good golf, hit some miraculous shots, kept himself in there, and but I was still able to come out on top. The fact of that, I was able to maintain my emotions, to just believe in myself, and to be able to execute coming down the stretch. That's what I'm most proud of.
Mickelson's 266 would have won any previous major ever held. Verplank and Azinger would be Ryder Cup picks the next day by U.S. captain Curtis Strange. DeMarco just missed making the team. Woods was never a factor, while Rick Schuler did the club professionals quite proud. Congratulations to David Toms.